Howdy, I'm Gabby the Clown, and today I'll be talking about The Amazing Digital Circus, one of my favorite shows that I've ever watched. It's so peak. So obviously spoilers for The Amazing Digital Circus, every single episode including the finale, and also, despite my cartoonish art style, my channel is not for kids, so if you're under the age of 18, please do not watch this video. And with all that out of the way, let's just get right into it. So, alright, this is probably gonna sound super freaking corny, but I don't really care. The Amazing Digital Circus, on top of being probably my favorite show, possibly ever, it genuinely, like changed my life a bit. So, a little history lesson about me. Back when episode 4 came out, is when I was working in retail, and I hated it so much. Like, I didn't like having to, talk to people all day and be, super cheerful and smiley all day. I did not like being forced to be that way. I did not like it. And it was the worst. I hated it. And what I really wanted to do was I wanted to do YouTube, but I didn't let myself because I thought, oh, well, I'm probably gonna suck anyway, so there's not really any point. But then episode 4 came out, and I watched it, and, seeing Gangle just, completely lose it, the training tape that she makes Jax watch, especially, kind of made me go, oh no. The freaking, I don't want to work in fast food. I want to be a comic artist and eventually launch my very own manga-inspired webcomic. And it's good to have dreams, but it's also important to realize that they're completely unrealistic, and you need to stop trying. Oh shit, that's me. That's what I'm doing. Fuck, dude, I don't want to be like that. And that was, well, not the main thing, but one of many things that, made me want to start doing YouTube. I wanted to do YouTube already, but that was one of the main things that made me actually give it a shot. 'Cause, I didn't want to be like that. Watching Gangle just, fall apart, under the weight of just trying to, keep up the good employee, act was just, very, depressing and uncomfortable, but in a good way. 'Cause, at that point in my life, that was me. Almost every day I went to work, that's how I felt. And when, it gets to the point where, her happy mask looks even more depressed than her sad mask, shit, dude. So yeah, it sounds corny, but I don't care. The Amazing Digital Circus genuinely, helped me a lot. Gangle especially, because I didn't want to keep being like her, because I was, I don't relate to Gangle currently, at least not a lot, but when I was first watching the show, 18 through 19, I was like that, I was, cripplingly, nervous, and had a lot of self-worth issues. But seeing all of that kind of like reflected back at me through Gangle, like, hey, this is how you're acting and it's not healthy. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I don't really want to be like Gangle. So that was really helpful. And I think I've always thought it's really interesting seeing how different people react to seeing flaws that they are either currently struggling with or have struggled with reflected back at them through media. And I got to experience that firsthand through introducing the Amazing Digital Circus to my best friend and my parents. So my best friend absolutely despises Jax. Like, she hates that guy because Jax reminds her of how she was when she was younger, and it makes her uncomfortable. But when I showed the show to my parents, my dad liked Jax for that exact reason of Jax acts how he did when he was in high school. And I just think it's so interesting, like seeing, like for some people, like seeing things that they've struggled with or are actively struggling with, like reflected back at them can be like uncomfortable or make you feel called out, but for other people, it can feel more cathartic, like, yeah, I've overcome that, and I'm really proud of myself, which is, like, I just, again, I feel like I've said it's so interesting like 7 times already, but like, it is, it's very, very interesting, turning into friggin' Wingding Gaster. So now I'm gonna talk about the finale. I believe it's very important to be able to criticize things that you like, which is something that I've kind of struggled with a lot through my life, like, even to this day, as I've been trying to improve it, my first instinct when I see somebody being critical of something that I like is always to be, like, kind of, like, get defensive and not really want to listen to them, but I've been getting better about that. So, with the finale, I think it was overall good, and it satisfied me for the most part. But I can also understand what people were saying when they were like, I did not like the finale at all. I'm like, I can understand that. But for me personally, it satisfied me for the most part. So I think the show definitely needed to be longer, like at least 1 or 2 more episodes longer, I think, because I disagree with the opinion that Jax has too much screen time. I personally think that Jax has the perfect amount of screen time for the story that Goose wanted to tell with him, but I do think that other characters deserved more screen time, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think Jax's stuff should have been cut down. I think that they just should have made the show a bit longer to make room for the other characters to have their own stuff too. Yeah, like, for the most part, I think everyone's character arcs were mostly satisfying. There's just, like, one thing that's bugged me for a while, and that's in episode 6. Ragatha and Pomni are like, let's talk later, and we don't get to see their talk, but then in the next episodes, they're like best friends, and then in the finale, they're like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Which is very cute. I just wish that we'd gotten to see their chat. Like, I don't think everything needs to be done on screen, and I think subtlety is a really good thing, but I do feel like that is, like, the one thing that we should have scene. Like, it should not have been done off screen. Like, at least in my opinion, because before this point, like, they're not, like, best friends. Like, I'd honestly say that they're, like, barely friends for the first couple episodes. Like, they're more like co-workers, and Ragatha wants to be friends, and Pomni is just kind of neutral. Like, Pomni doesn't dislike Ragatha, but they're not, like, friends yet. Like, I think Pomni is kind of, at least for the first couple of episodes, I think she's kind of uncomfortable with how Ragatha kind of babies her, especially in episode 2. And it feels like they go from being, like, Pomni's kind of neutral towards Ragatha, and Ragatha really wants to be friends with Pomni, to them being, like, ultimate, like, best friends with, like, the biggest hug that lasts so long. And I thought I thought the hug was cute. I thought them being, like, so close and thinking so highly of each other was really cute. I just wish we'd gotten to see, like, that turning point. But yeah, that's the one thing that really bugs me personally. Yeah, I liked the finale for the most part. I didn't realize until a second watch through that Kinger really didn't get, like, anything. Like, he got to have his chat with Pomni, like, telling her that she's strong, which was a really good scene. At least in my opinion, I loved it a lot. But he doesn't really get to do much after that. Like, I think his only line after their talk is, like, just, after they take Pomni out of, like, abstracted Jack's, like, you didn't think we were gonna let him you didn't think we were gonna let you take care of them all by yourself, did you? Like, and then that's it. Which, I mean, I guess we didn't need a lot with Kinger, but I'm still a bit disappointed. Like, looking back and realizing he really didn't he really didn't get to say a lot in the finale. Like, I don't know, I guess I just kind of wish we'd gotten more of him interacting with even Ragatha. Like, he doesn't really interact with Ragatha in the finale. He really only interacts with Pomni, and then that's kind of it. I do like all of the stuff with Gangle and Zubul. I think Gangle and Zubul's relationship was done so well. And I just love them so much. Like, they're one of my favorite couples in fiction. I love them so much. They're so cute. And so before I saw the finale, I would, like, make jokes about, like, oh yeah, I saw the leaks. I can't believe they got away with having a Gangle and Zubul sex scene. And then in the freaking credits, they literally have a freaking sex scene. It's off screen, but, like, I saw that and I was like, no way. Yeah, that was so freaking funny. So yeah, Gangle and Zubul forever. Abstragedy 5 ever. And, oh, also, as a Kane enjoyer, I am very glad that my son got to return and have a happy ending. Like, that made me so happy. Like, I don't care if it's good writing or not, because it made me happy. And that's my stance on Kane, on somehow Kane returned. Cause, like, I am not immune to hype moments in Aura, unfortunately. If something makes me happy, I'm going to like it, even if it's, no matter if it's good or not. Do I think him coming back was super well executed? I don't know. I don't know if he should have come back, but I'm glad that he did, because it made me happy, and that's my stance on Kane. I really don't have much new to say about him. I think I got most of my thoughts about Kane out during my big Kane video, which I would highly recommend. It's very good, and it's, like, one of the only scripted videos on my channel, which is how you know I got really passionate about him. But yeah, I like what they did with Kane. I don't care if it was good writing, because it made me happy. And my boy got with the moon, because he deserved that. Good for him. And yeah. So, post-finale world, I've been, a little frustrated, so I don't really want to talk about the bad parts of the fandom a lot in this video, but this will be, like, my one little thing where I get kind of annoyed. So, pre-finale, there was a theory going around that Jax might be trans, and from what I could tell, it was a really popular theory, and most everyone, liked it. But then, in a post-finale world where it was confirmed that Jax is in fact trans femme, but just never got the opportunity to come out because she killed herself before she could. So once it was made canon, everybody lost their freaking minds. Like, I've seen so much just blatant transphobia now that it's confirmed, which confuses me, because, like, I've seen, I'm not going to, name drop anybody, because I don't want to start a whole thing, but I've seen people who, posted about enjoying the theory, and, reposting, trans Jax fan art from before the finale, but now, in the post-finale, are suddenly, super against it, and are like, I don't care that the creator says that Jax is trans, cause, he's a boy, and he will only ever be a boy, and blah, 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 blah. And, you need to calm down. It's a cartoon rabbit, you liked it when it wasn't canon, why are you freaking out now? To me, that just shows that you didn't actually like the theory, you were just supporting it for brownie points. And so I don't blame people for not picking up on the theory, until it was, confirmed, off-screen by Goose. Cause I didn't initially get it until, a second watch through of the series, because all of the hints, were things that I, on a first watch, took at face value. Oh, yeah, Jax hates wearing the maid dress, cause, it's funny, and Jax has a girly room because, it's funny. And that was, the beginning and end of my thoughts, until I rewatched it before the finale, and I was like, oh! And then, and it's done very subtly. I think Jax's story was done very well. At least from my perspective. I'm not trans, so I can't really say for sure if it was well executed. But from what I've seen, from trans creators that I do follow, they also liked it. Actually, a creator I really enjoy named Quinneman made a video about trans Jax, and I would actually highly recommend that video, and honestly, all of his videos are just peak. So yeah, that's my recommendation to you. Go forth and watch it if you want my opinions, because he basically has the same opinions as me about Jax, in that I personally think it was done well. I like that it was subtle. I think it was very tasteful, at least to me. And seeing it's a little bit funny, but seeing people get confused and think that "Isn't She Lovely" is referring to Jax and Pomni, like Funny Bunny, and getting confused about why their ship song is like a song about a baby girl being born is really funny, because it's not about Funny Bunny, it's about Jax. So that's more so just kind of funny. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Jax. At least trans Jax. So my thoughts on Jax as a person. So I have been very vocal about my disdain for Jax, which now that the series is over, and I'm making a video talking about all my thoughts and being very sincere, I will also now be sincere about how I feel about Jax. So every time I've said I hate Jax, and like, oh, I hate this person, I fucking hate that rabbit, lol, that was never sincere. I mostly just hated on Jax because it was easier than saying, I have very complicated feelings about Jax. Like, it's, to quote Looney Tunes Jax, everything's way more funny when you play it out in extremes. So my hatred of Jax was greatly exaggerated for the bit, because it's funnier. It's funnier to just be like, oh yeah, I hate this guy, lol, than to be like, oh yeah, I have very complicated feelings about this person that I would need to kind of sit down and think about deeply before communicating. But now that I'm making the Digital Circus video, which will, unless I forget something, include all of my thoughts about the show and the characters, I'm going to be sincere. And I don't hate Jax. It's because I honestly struggle to hate a lot of characters, which is why I haven't made a part 2 for my freaking characters I hate video, because it takes a lot for me to hate a character. I will dislike a character all the livelong day, but I will struggle to feel genuine, like, hatred for them. And with Jax, I never fully liked Jax. Like, I enjoyed him as a character, but I never fully was like, oh yeah, this is one of my favorite characters. Like, from episode 1, I was like, wow, this rabbit guy kinda sucks. He's kind of a bully, but he's also kind of funny. It really confused me when episode 2 came out, and then people got mad that Jax was a bully, even though Jax was a bully in the first episode too. Like, he threw a bowling ball at Kinger and Gangle, and he abandoned Ragatha and Pomni to deal with abstracted Kaufmo. Like, we know that Jax had their reasons, but like, that was still a shitty thing to do, which is how I feel about all of Jax's actions. Like, I know that there's a reason, but it's still, your actions still suck, even if you have a reason for doing them. Like, your trauma should never be an excuse. Like, it can be an explanation for your behavior, but it doesn't excuse your actions. And that's how I feel about Jax. I have sympathy for Jax, but I think it would be pretty... I don't know if disingenuous is the word that I'm looking for, but I'm gonna use it because I can't think of the word right at the moment. But I feel like it would be very disingenuous to just dismiss, like, all of Jax's, being quite frank, abusive behaviors just because they have a lot of trauma. I just think it's dumb, respectfully. It's that thing of, it's like I said, at the beginning of the finale section, where I think it's important to be able to criticize, things you love. I think it's very important to be able to criticize characters that you like. But I've noticed that, I struggle with this too, so I'm not, like, trying to get on a high horse and call anybody out, but I've noticed that on the internet, a lot of people, when they enjoy a character who isn't a very good person, they'll do everything that they can to justify that character's actions, and I think it's probably because, like, it makes them uncomfortable to think that they enjoy a character that's bad, and they think that maybe it reflects poorly on themselves for enjoying somebody who does bad things, and I personally disagree with that. I think it's perfectly fine to enjoy a character who does bad things, as long as you aren't, like, excusing or justifying those bad things. Like, people have been, obsessed with Disney villains for years, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because no one's saying that Scar was justified in killing Mufasa. Like, no one's saying that Cruella de Vil is, like, 100%, like, in the right for trying to kill puppies. Like, nobody's saying that. Sometimes a bad person character is just interesting. And, like, it's fun to, like, see what they'll do. But that doesn't mean that you're a bad person for enjoying those characters. And that's how I feel. That's the mentality I wish that more people on the internet had, because I'm getting a bit sick of seeing, like, characters' bad actions being swept under the rug because, oh, they're traumatized. Like, I don't like that. Because all the other characters are traumatized too. Like, Ragatha especially has extremely similar trauma to Jax's, but you don't see her dropping people in a deep fryer. Like, come on. And, like, I think that Jax and Ragatha are very interesting foils to each other. Like, I really enjoy seeing, like, two people with extremely similar trauma and experiences coping in completely different ways that are also kind of similar. Like, they both use people to an extent, but Ragatha, like, she uses people in that she wants everybody to be happy all the time, and she has a bit of toxic positivity, which is understandable. But with Jax, his way of using people is hurting them because it's funny. So, like, obviously, Jax is worse because he is intentionally hurting people, and Ragatha has good intentions. But I know I said I don't want to talk about the fandom, but I'll talk about them again right now because I feel the need to address this because it makes me mad as well. The double standards with Ragatha and Jax frustrate me endlessly. Like, Jax is just blatantly a bully and an abusive person. He's not a good person. Like Jax admits herself, like, in the finale, that she's a terrible person. But people still love Jax. And that's fair. It's perfectly fine to enjoy a character that does bad things, as long as you're not excusing those bad things. But a lot of Jax fans do. But then, when Ragatha ever does something even remotely, like, even arguably bad, everybody loses their minds. Like, when Ragatha, like, loses her temper and lashes out at Jax, and nothing that Ragatha said was false, by the way. Nothing that Ragatha said about Jax was incorrect. And she just, like, pops off on him, and everybody in the fandom was like, Ragatha sucks. Ragatha's, like, such a bitch. And that just, like, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's, like, I don't like to call things sexist, but I can't think of any other explanation for freaking Ragatha gets mad once, everybody hates her, Jax, is abusive towards Gangle, and nobody gives a fuck. Like, and when I say nobody gives a fuck and that everybody hated Ragatha, that's obviously not true. There's just a very vocal part of the fandom was like that, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It pisses me off. I don't know. The fandom's just... I don't want to say it's the worst fandom ever, because it's not. But I will say, I think this is the worst fandom I've been a part of while it was at its peak. Because I'm in the Undertale fandom, but I wasn't online when all the crazy shit was happening. Like, so I didn't experience, like the freaking needle cookie incident or anything like that. Like, I was just playing my game. And Fallout, as much as I dog on that fandom for being so gatekeepy and kind of rude, at least they don't dox people. Like, Fallout fans will be, like, snarky and rude, but they'll leave you alone for the most part. Like, they'll leave their mean comment and move on. Digital Circus fans will, like, send you gore and tell you to kill yourself. Like, there's a lot of awful people in this fandom, and I don't know why. I don't know where this came from. Like, welcome to the internet, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It was just very disheartening watching, like, in the beginning, like, the worst problem in the fandom was content farms. Like, that was, like, the biggest problem. Like, and then it just devolved into, like, everybody kind of sucks. And I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. But, anyway, let's get away from the depressing stuff. And let's talk about, something fun. So, something fun, you say? Let me tell you something fun. So, little fact about me, I've always wanted to be a voice actor. It's been a dream since I was, like, a child, like, a small child. I wanted to act in some way, and voice acting, is just, like, the most fun way of doing that for me. And recently, I was cast to voice act in a Digital Circus fan dub, which is going to be dubbing over the entire show. Currently, there's only episode 1 out. We're going to be working on episode 2 soon, but yeah, that's been very fun, and it's been really enjoyable to get to relive the series through this. But yeah, I am playing Bubble and the Moon, and once we get to those episodes, I'm going to be playing the Sun and the stupid sauce mannequin in episode 4, which is very fun, and I'll have a link to the first episode of that in the description of this video. So yeah, I love animation, and just seeing, like, so many people make their own stuff, like, well, not on their own, because they have teams, but, like, without having to rely on the big corporation, is just so, like, inspiring, and it's just really cool, like, seeing people make their passion projects real. And I hope that all of these projects get all of the good parts of the Digital Circus fandom, all of the fan art and cosplay and just love, without any of the insanity. There probably will be, like, crazies and weirdos, because there always is on the internet, but here's hoping that it's significantly less for the rest of these projects. And if you want to make an indie show that you've been putting off because you don't think you're gonna do well, just do it, lady. Just do it. Like, it sounds really corny, but literally, if you have something that you've been wanting to do, but you haven't been because, oh, I don't think I'll be able to do it well, or, oh, I don't think people will really watch it or care, just do it. It doesn't even have to be an indie show. If you want to be a YouTuber, or if you want to make a comic, or if you want to write a book, or start singing, or doing anything, but you're holding yourself back because you are doubting yourself, just do it. Like, the worst thing that can happen is that you fail, and then at least you'll know. And you can also learn from a failure. You'll never learn anything, or, like, get anywhere if you keep holding yourself back because you think you're not going to do it well. And there's, like, I know it's like a cliche, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, just give it a shot. Like, and if nobody cares and nobody watches, well, that's on them. Like, don't give up just because other people might not like the thing that you want to make. Don't give up just because you're worried it won't be popular. Like, yeah, it probably won't be the next amazing Digital Circus, but you never know. Like, and you probably won't be the next Markiplier, and you probably won't be, like, the next big author, or the next big singer. You probably won't be the next Chapel Roan, but you gotta at least try, and that is what I want to leave with all of you today. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have something that you've been wanting to do it, because, like, that's what I did, and I'm currently, like, the most content with myself that I have been in a while. Just stop holding yourself back and do the things that you want to do. Like, I don't want a career in retail. I want to be a YouTuber and eventually make my own comic. And it's good to have dreams, and it's also important to believe in them. And you should keep trying. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. I would really appreciate it, and subscribe if you'd like to. Next week, I'll be talking about The Backrooms. It's mostly the movie, but I'll also just be talking about The Backrooms as a concept, because it's just so interesting and cool, and I like it a lot. And yeah, I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever time it is where you are. Cheers!